guys, so the final beast raid is here. Key to the Heart, which is going to be for Eternal Sugar, is back, and in today's video I want to go over the team that we have used to be master mode, and it is going to be back on Coco Altar, which is going to be Coconut's, alt account, which is completely free to play. And you guys can tell the specs are not that good. Some kind of lucky, the Awakening, but of course their promotion and stuff is very low. So I wanted to kind of share with you guys a team that you guys are able to use to try and be master. Challenge is very difficult, especially for this particular boss, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to show you guys the key steps. Of course, it's a lot of spamming. A couple of the key notes that I want you guys to focus on, especially if you guys are playing on an emulator, so that you guys have a little bit of a higher chance, because it's a little different than playing on a smartphone where you are able to touch the entire screen. But one thing I do want to just let you guys know of before we get started is that instead of damage resist, it is better to focus on a lot more HP to increase the survivability of your cookies for this particular boss. Alright, so keep that in mind, but let's get into the actual run. So the first thing that I want to let you guys know is that you want to be playing on automatic because of the fact that we are going to be using that treasure, the berry necklace, which automatically needs to trigger whenever the cooldown is over. So to keep that in mind, sadly, our Black Sapphire is only at 3-star promotion, and the topping and stats are just not that great, especially, all the biscuit and stuff. So Black Sapphire is going to be able to use skill like once, and then it's going to die off. Pure Vanilla is a very iffy thing. He does stay alive here and there. Sometimes he doesn't. I am going to skip over the cannon part because of the fact that we are able to do that if you guys do clear this already, at least once. So we're going to kind of skip over that one, and then going into the second team. All right, once you guys get into the steel phase, you want to actually wait a little bit. So there is going to be a skill that the boss actually uses, and you're going to be able to see that Eternal Sugar's HP kind of drops a lot. When that happens, or after when that happens, you want to switch over to the team. I kind of messed up a little bit, so Linzer did die. Linzer again is only at 3-star promo, and Linzer is not going to be optimized too much here, so she is going to die off here, but not too much of a problem because we do have Silent Salt as well as Hollyberry Awaken, and Mystic Flower here is going to be our secondary main healer, as well as our Sugarfly also being a very helpful healer here as well. All right, so we're just going to spam everything again, and then once we end, we're going to get into the cannon area again. We're going to skip that part, and then we're going to be able to see that all of the cookies do come and fight. Alright, so we have 10 total cookies, as well as a cannon that you guys need to control. On the keyboard, you guys are able to see it is 1 through 0, and then you do have that negative or minus sign, which is going to be for the cannon. Thankfully, some of the cookies for us actually died, so it is a lot easier for us to mash the keys that are going to be for the cookies that are alive, and then we are mashing the cannon as well, and then we play on the auto and then a slower time speed, so that again, once the charm does come out, we're able to go and mash it and wake up our cookies before they actually do die. All right, and that is pretty much the process of this whole thing. So yeah, I guess not too much of a crazy guide, so let's get into the topping of the actual cookies. Alright guys, so let's get into the topping and the team as well. So Eternal Sugar, Pure Vanilla Awaken, Black Sapphire, as well as Marshmallow Bunny and Cream Ferret. So there are other teams as well. Some people do use someone like Cream Puff as well. That is another support that you guys are able to use. But we are using, as you guys can see, the Unyielding Berry Necklace, the Jelly Watch, as well as the Starlight Crown. And then we are going to have right over here full on Raspberry for Eternal Sugar, and as you guys can see, no damage resist. And then if you guys are able to poison damage, full on poison damage is going to be the most beneficial, so that the elemental damage is going to allow you to do more damage to the boss. We have Black Sapphire, again, elemental damage, and then we have a full on HP. Do you need to go full on HP all the time? Yeah, I would recommend it just so that you have a higher chance of Black Sapphire actually surviving and doing those poison damage and also healing your cookies as well. And then you have Pure Vanilla with full HP as well. And then I would say if you guys can get cooldown, extra HP, or sometimes damage resist, so that you guys can also include that into the actual cooldown as well. Not too bad, but survivability, HP is going to be the key. Cream Ferret is going to be a raspberry swift chocolate mix. Of course, damage resist is not going to be most important, but cooldown as well as attack and crit helps out in increasing the healing. Again, we have a bunch of cooldown on the biscuit. And then for our marshmallow bunny, of course, amplified buff, you guys do need to have it a little bit higher if possible. And then we do have right here full on swift chocolate for the actual cooldown and spamming the skill. Next one is gonna be our secondary team right over here, the steel team. Of course, you guys are able to add someone in like raspberry cookie if you guys do have raspberry at max magic candy level, as well as something like pavlova in here as well. But we do have your hollyberry awaken, silent salt, linzer, mystic flower, as well as sugarfly. We are using the scroll, whistle, as well as the vial. So let's go into the toppings. We have full on raspberry. As you guys can see, damage resist again is not going to be the most important thing, but we do have steel damage. If you guys can get all steel damage, the best thing. All right, next one is going to be our hollyberry 2, full on damage, so that you're able to do more damage. Hollyberry is going to be able to keep a lot of the cookies alive as well with the buff. And then we have steel damage. If you guys can get all of it, the best thing. Next one is going to be our linzer. I mean, it really depends depending on what your linzer is going to have. If you guys are able to get a good biscuit where you have like a good attack speed and stuff, then going HP and cooldown is going to be the best. Coconut really didn't try too much here, so kept with the bouncy caramel, but you guys were able to see linzer literally blew up, so just keep that in mind. But we're showing you guys kind of like the minimum stat with an alt account, which is completely free to play. And then we have sugarfly with full on peanut here, very similar to what pure vanilla was, as well as black sapphire was. 3-star promo as well, so it's going to be a lot better with HP to survive. And then our last cookie, mystic flower, actually is going to be using full on cooldown, so that we are able to use the skill, keep the healing up constantly for our team. So we have cooldown, damage resist here. Again, you guys are able to use HP as well if you guys would like to do that, as long as you have cooldown for your biscuit. Anyways, that is going to be the way for us to beat master mode. This one is really difficult. I know a lot of people are actually really like hating on this one, and I don't blame them because of the fact that it is pretty annoying. Like the button mashing is a lot of a big thing too. So good luck with it, guys, but thanks for watching. Hope you guys found the video helpful, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.